and today I'm be talking about my latest book haul. From the title of this video, yes, I said before Black Friday book haul is because I'm planning on buying myself more books on Black Friday, so I just decided to talk about all the latest books that I've got from August to now. So yeah, let's get to the book haul. The first book that I got is Prince Charming by Rachel Hawkins, and this is a contemporary book that I've been hearing a lot lately, and it's about this girl whose sister is marrying a prince, and then she falls in love with his brother. I'm not quite sure that's what's it about, but I definitely want to read this because I've heard how cute it is, and I just really want to read this, hopefully very soon. I don't know when, but this is one of the contemporaries that I definitely really want to read. The next book that I got is The Cruel Prince by Holly Black, which I actually read this for Hogwarts House Battles Readathon, which I'm really happy about, and I really enjoy it. If you haven't watched my wrap-up, I'll link it down below so you guys can check it out. But anyways, this is a book about fairies, and I'm just happy that I gave this book a chance, and I definitely want to read the next two sequels, since the third book is the last of the series, which I'm really sad about, but I definitely really like the characters. I like the world. It's kind of confusing for me, but I still enjoy the book, but I'm definitely glad that I really enjoyed it and getting excited for the sequels. The next book that I bought and I also read is Soul Stars by Ashley Poston. You guys know this was my most anticipated book of the year and one of my most anticipated book of the year, but I love it as much as the first book. I could not put it down, and I miss the characters, and also you get two new characters' perspectives, which I really like, and I'm just happy that I got to read it this year, and then I would regret not reading it as soon as possible, and I'm just so happy that I got to read it, and I love this duology. I'm sad that it's a duology, but I'm really glad on how this book concluded in the series. The next book that I got is Sea Witch Rising by Sarah Hang. This is a sequel to Sea Witch, but it's also the last of the duology, which I'm really excited about, and I really want to read it so badly, and I still haven't gotten to it for some reason. I really want to read it so bad, and I'm trying to tell myself, as soon as you're done with your current reads, go ahead and read this, because I know I would be too impatient to wait any longer to read it, just because this is also one of my anticipated releases of this year. The next book that I bought is The Supervillain in Me by Danielle Benez. I think that's how you pronounce her last name, but I've been really interested in this book since I've heard about it when it came out last year. And also, it's about this girl whose brother who is a superhero, but then she falls in love with his arch nemesis, and that really grabbed my interest because you don't get a lot of superhero books, and I definitely want to read one that's definitely like about the girl who falls in love with her brother's enemy, but also his enemy is not as bad as he seems. But I definitely really excited to read it when I can, and it's just been really caught my eye lately. The next book that I got is House of Salt and Sorrow by Aaron A. Craig. This is from the August Beacon Book Box, which I've been really happy about because this is a 12 Dancing Princesses retelling, and that's all I really want to know, because I've been going into fairy tale retellings without knowing a lot because I just want to see if I enjoy them. I would rather be surprised on whether I like it or not than just knowing a lot about the synopsis, so that's all I'm going to give you guys. And I love this cover. It's so gorgeous, and I definitely really want to read this. I was going to read it during the Hogwarts House Battles Readathon, which was the Ravenclaw's Book of Them group book, but I didn't get a chance to read it as soon as possible. But I definitely really want to read it, and I'm definitely excited to read it for another fairy tale retelling on my TBR. The next book that I got is Diana Wall by Peggy Earhart. This is a sequel to Murder, She Knits, a cozy mystery that I've read this year, and I'm really excited to read the sequel. But by knowing me, I don't like going to mysteries by knowing anything, because it's like, it's a mystery. Why would you just go into a mystery when you not know nothing, but you want to know what happens for yourself. That's me. It's just me wanting me to get to more mysteries now, because I really miss reading mysteries, and I haven't read a lot since like Miranda Orient Express and Murder She Knits. I just want to read more mysteries, but I want to know not a lot about them, because I was like, it's a mystery book. Why are you going to a mystery when you know something, the plot of the book? It's just my personal, like, friends on getting to, for me buying a mystery and not know anything what's about. I just rather read it for myself and find out whether I like it. And since it's a sequel, and of course this is a continuing story of Murder She Knits series, and I don't know what the actual series is called. Oh, a Knit and Nibble Mystery. That's what they're called. I just want to get into it and read it, because I really enjoyed the first book, and I'm definitely excited to read it. Another book that I bought is The Kingdom by Jess Rothenberg. This is a fantasy book that takes place in a theme park or a sci-fi. This cover literally looks like a sci-fi, but that's all I really want to know about this book. I just heard about it and I really want to read it because it sounds like a very unique fantasy or sci-fi story that just takes place in a theme park. I mean, who doesn't want to read a book that takes place in a theme park? I mean, as a theme park person, I do love theme parks, and this is definitely really caught my eye, and I definitely want to read it as soon as I can, just so I would see it. And it just seems like a really unique book that I really want to read. The next book that I got is Warrior of the Wild by Tricia Levenseller, which is the author of Daughter of the Pirate King duology, which I love so much, and I just love her writing so much that I want to read more of her books. And this is a Viking story, and that's all I really want to know. And I just been going into books without knowing anything, because I'd rather be surprised on whether I like it or not. But since my ancestors were Vikings, I've been wanting to read a lot of Viking books lately. I haven't read one yet, but I definitely want to read this as soon as possible, because I love Tricia Levenseller's Daughter of the Pirate King duology so much. The next book that I got is Forest of a Thousand Lanterns by Julie C. Dowd. This is a Snow White retelling, but it's told by the Evil Queen's perspective, and that's all I really want to know, and I'm really excited about it. And plus, I like this cover more than the old one, just because I feel like with this one, it's just a lot more beautiful, and I just really like the design of it. So that's why I got this edition rather than a hardcover edition, and plus the sequel matches with this cover, and I just really liked it, and I really hope I end up enjoying it, seeing as I've been getting a lot of more fairy tale retellings lately for Fairy Tale-a-thon. Hopefully we'll do another round, but I still want to add more to my TBR as my options. The next book that I got is Kingdom of Souls by Raina Barron. This is a book that I got from the September Beacon Book Box, and I'm really excited to read this because not only I've heard that they're going to make a movie adaptation of it, also this is about a girl who's raised in a family of witch doctors, but she doesn't have any magic, and that's all I really want to know about this book. I've just been excited about it since the plot really caught my eye, and so has the cover. I really like the cover, plus it's going to become a movie. I mean, who knew that this was going to become a movie after it's been released? So I'm definitely really interested in a movie adaptation, and I definitely want to read as soon as possible because it sounds really awesome. The next book that I got is Steel Tide by Natalie C. Parker. This is the sequel to Seafire trilogy. It is going to be a trilogy, and there's a third book. To be honest, I had to be honest with you guys. I do not like the new cover. I really like the old cover. If you guys haven't watched my video where I talked about some of the cover changes that I liked or disliked, and this is definitely one of the ones that I'm like, why do you have to change the cover? I'm just afraid that the next book will, like the third book, will not match with the rest of the covers, but I'm definitely really want to read it because I like the characters and I like the story, and I'm probably going to be reading this on audiobook because when I read physically, I did enjoy it. It's just the main character I do not like, but I do like the supporting characters of the story, so I definitely want to continue reading this because of those characters, so I'm just still excited to read it. The next book that I got is The Bone House by Emily Lloyd-Jones. This is a Halloween read that I got from September's Owl Crate, which I really enjoyed it, and from this book, this really grabbed my interest, but I'm not sure if I'm willing to wait until Halloween to read this, just because it's about a boy or a girl that's raised by gravediggers, which really grabbed my interest, and it seems like a perfect Halloween read, but I'm not sure if I'm willing to wait until then, just because I want to read it as soon as possible, just because I've read The Wicked Deep by Shea Ernshaw before Halloween, and same as Meddling Kids, which both of them I've read last year, and I did not wait until Halloween, so I definitely want to read this whenever I can, just so I would recommend to anybody who's looking for a Halloween read. The next book that I got, that I also got from September's Owl Crate, is The Haunting of the Hill House by Shirley Jackson. I actually started reading this, but then I DNF'd it just because I wasn't in a mood for it. Plus, like, I only got like 10 pages in or something, and I definitely want to try it read again for Halloween, and then I read Hocus Pocus, but then I also DNF'd that because I didn't want to try to read 200 pages on Halloween, so I definitely want to give this a try, and I'm not a big horror fan, but since I got this from Owl Crate, I definitely want to give it a try and see if it's a Halloween read that I end up enjoying or not, but I'm still willing to give this a chance. The next book that I got is The Astonishing Color of After by Emily X.R. Pan. I've been wanting to read this since I've heard nothing but good things about it. I know it's an emotional book. It's about a girl whose mom committed suicide, and then she turns into a bird, and she flies all the way to Taiwan to meet her grandparents for the first time. I just love the theme of family in a lot of books, just because like they touch my heart, because it makes me think of the relationship with my family that I have, and this is something that I definitely wanted to read since I've heard nothing but good things about it last year. I definitely want to read this. I don't know when, but I definitely really want to read this as soon as possible. I guarantee you that. The next book that I got is Stepsister by Jennifer Donnelly. This is the author of Lost in a Book, which I have right there, and this is a Cinderella retelling that's told by one of Cinderella's stepsisters, which really grabbed my interest. Plus, I've been wanting to get more fairy tale retellings on my TBR, seeing as there's Fairy Tale-a-thon, and I just really hope there's another round of Fairy Tale-a-thon, because I gotten so much for me to add to my TBR as my selections, but this has definitely been one of the ones that I've been wanting to read lately, and I definitely want to read it hopefully as soon as possible, because I haven't read a fairy tale retelling since Cinder. Next book that I got is I Hope You Get This Message by Farah Rishi. This is a contemporary sci-fi story about these three teenagers that are trying to figure out what they should spend the last 7 days on Earth before the aliens take over the world, Earth or something like that, or before the world ends. And I found it very interesting because not only all three characters are very different from each other, but they're trying to establish a goal before the world ends, which this really have caught my eye since I got it, and I haven't heard anything about it, and since I got it from Owl Crate, I definitely want to read it as soon as I can, because I've been wanting to read more sci-fi lately, and it's definitely one of the ones that caught my eye since I got it from Owl Crate. The next book that I got from October's Owl Crate is Curious War by Nina Varlia. I think that's how you pronounce the author's last name. I'm sorry if I'm butchering it, but all I know about this book is a female-female romance that takes place in a fantasy world, and that's all I really want to know. I didn't want to know like anything else about this book, just because from fantasies there are different worlds out there that I'm like, are they similar to other books, which I do not want to think about, and also I definitely want to read this just because I've heard nothing but good things about it, and it's definitely one of the fancy books I definitely want to read from my TBR. The next book that I got is from the October Beacon book box is Verified by Joelle Carbano. I think that's how you pronounce her last name, but I actually discovered that this author actually went to my mom's high school. I'm like, what the heck? But anyways, this book is kind of similar to Fahrenheit 451. I have never read that book, but I know I definitely want to read it. But from the cover of it, I definitely want to read it. This is a dystopian book that I really want to get into, dystopians that are different from each other. And this seems like a retelling of Fahrenheit 451, so I definitely want to read it. And it's really cool how I found out that this author went to my mom's high school, which is really shocking to me. The next book that I got is Serpent and Dove by Shelby Monaghan. I think that's how you pronounce the author's last name, but all I know about this book is about a witch and a witch hunter that are forced to get married, and that's all I really want to know. It's just been really... This book actually had caught my eye since I've heard mixed things about it, but I definitely want to read it for myself because I mostly heard good things about it and not like the bad things about this book, but also the cover is very beautiful, and I got it at Half Price Books at a decent price, and this is one of the books I definitely want to read whenever I can, and it's definitely one of the fantasy books that I've been wanting to read lately. Another book that I got from Half Price Books, also a fairy tale retelling, is Winter Spell by Claire Legrand. This is an author from the author of Fairyborn series. And I know that's also a trilogy, but this is a Nutcracker retelling, and since I saw this book, I'm like, I gotta read it as soon as possible because the Nutcracker is one of my favorite fairy tales, and I definitely want to read it, whether it's for Fairy Tale-thon or outside of the readathon, but this is definitely one of the ones that I definitely want to read since I've heard that is a Nutcracker retelling, and I definitely been wanting to read more fairy tale retellings lately, if you guys couldn't tell. And the last book that I got is actually from the November Beacon Book Box, and I just got it yesterday from the time that I filmed this video, is Crown of Oblivion by Julie Ashbow, and this is definitely one of the books that caught my eye. It's about this world where there was a competition, but then their memories get wiped out, and that's why there's Oblivion involved with the story. And this book, I actually was gonna buy for myself, but then I got it from the Beacon Book Box, so I'm like, yay, I got it in a book box. But I definitely really excited about this book since I didn't hear anybody talking about this on BookTube, but this is definitely one of the books that I wanted to read lately. So that's all for my book haul, and if you enjoyed this video, give us a thumbs up, and I definitely want to I just love doing book hauls whenever I can, and let me know in the comments down below the books that you bought recently, or some of the ones that I mentioned that I should read first. If you enjoy my channel and this video, hit the subscribe button and click that bell icon so you'll be notified whenever I post new videos. Also, you can follow me on social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and Goodreads, which I'll link all the links in the description down below for you guys. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!